Once again, hello everyone. My name is Pavel Kubat. I'm the developer of Aggressors Ancient Rome, and today I will show you all the features which are related to the tactical layer of the game. By the way, my colleague Heli Madura is ready to answer any questions. I will also answer questions during the stream, so don't hesitate to ask whatever comes to your mind. Excuse me. One side note, we have just published a new public build, so it's available already for a couple of hours, and we are proud to say that we have a UI scaling, which is not fixed. So you can choose whatever scale of the UI you want, and it should work very well on high resolution displays as well as the lower resolutions like 1024. So if you have a let's say better netbook, it might also work on that one. So today I'm going to show you pretty much all the aspects we already covered in the dev diary. Some of these features were already presented in the previous dev stream, so I'm not sure how many of you were actually watching the previous dev stream. That dev stream was a bit too, let's say, fast, or maybe too I didn't have really time to chat with you, so today it will be much more relaxed. I will look if you have any questions, and if so, just let me know. We will cover only part of all those features, so I think that we will have some time. I pretty much expect that this stream, I mean just the part I have prepared for you, has pretty much around an hour. With the questions, it might be 1.5 hours. So let's switch the. So you should now see the game, and let's jump directly to that. First of all, I would like to say a couple of things about the units themselves, how it's represented in the game, and what kind of properties are there for every unit type. I would like to point out that we have units, and we have the unit type. It's basically the model, or how to call them, the class of the unit, which is recruited or built. So we have, you can see on the map, we have different types of the units, and I would like to start with the very brief introduction of what we call army types. Army type is basically a set of different unit types which are tailored for different countries. So we have totally 5 different army types. I'm playing as a Pontus, which is by the way, which is very interesting to play as, because it's a very different setup. It's kind of a distant location, and very different strategy you have to play. So that's just if anyone is interested in who am I playing as today. So I'm playing as Pontus, and Pontus has so-called Eastern army type. Every army type consists of 6 different unit types, and you can see here we have 1 unit type. There is another one here, another one here, and altogether there are 5 different army types. Every army type has 6 different unit types. I know it might sound a bit too much, but I will come back to it in much more depth soon. So Once you select the unit, so-called unit menu will open in the lower right corner. You can see it here. You can see the name of the unit. You can see the 3D representation of that unit. You can see some properties, and you can see the actions. These actions, this is basically a list of all the things that the unit can perform in current setup or on the particular tile. If we right click on that unit in unit menu, it will open the unit type window. So we can see that this is hoplite. It's a military unit. There are some properties here. I will come back to that soon. There are so-called improvements. Again, I will cover it soon. Terrain properties, that's basically how the particular unit type behave or is effective on different terrain types. And there are a couple of other information. So this is Greek army type. You can see here, this is also Greek army type. We as Pontus have Eastern army type, which is, for example, this army, which is pikeman, and we also have spearman, and maybe I can have this is the expert or most advanced unit, which is silver shields. I can show you a couple of unit types from different army types. For example, this is the barbarian type. It's warriors. There are X-Men and there are elite X-Men. There are also the Greek types. I already said that there is hoplite and phalangites. There are two other army types, which is the Roman army type and the Carthaginian army type. I don't have it here because it's in fog of war, so I cannot show you right now, but there are plenty of videos. I just wanted to point out one more thing. I'm pretty sure that most of you already saw some videos of the game, and maybe you already have the game installed on your PC. What I will try to do, I will simply explain all the features you might have already noticed, but you don't know how they work or why they work that way. So if I will skip something what you think that might be important, then just try to shout, or my colleague will hopefully shout. Okay, so the first thing is the terrain differences or terrain properties we already partially covered. Basically every unit type behaves differently or is effective on different types, better or worse. It depends on what this unit type was actually what it used to fight on. So you can see, for example, the pikeman. There is this this sword and the shield, and this basically means it's let's call it attack or attack effectiveness, or basically how strong the unit can strike. And then there is this shield, which is like a health. So let me just explain one more thing. So if I will, this is our unit, and you can see that we have attack equal to 3, which is the actual maximum for this unit, and defense equal to 3, which is also the maximum. If we will go to the unit details window, you will see the number of soldiers in this army, and it's 7,000, because this is basically the full, this is without any loss. So this is a unit which didn't suffer any casualties. We have another one here, which you can see the tattered banner and also the blood stains. If we will go to the unit properties, you can see that this unit has just 1,400 soldiers, and it's because of the actual health is low. So let's get back to the properties. So what this says is what is the bonus or what is the penalty when this particular unit type fight on this terrain. So if it fights on the desert, it has 20% bonus and for attacking and 30% bonus for defending that tile. If we will scroll down, you can see, for example, the swamp. It's minus 20% for attacking and minus 10% for defending. We can also look at another unit type, for example, warriors. It's a barbarian type. So this is the default attack and defense and movement points, of course. And we can look at how it behaves on different kind of terrains. You can see that on desert it has minus 30% for attacking and minus 20% for defending. But if we will look at how they behave on forest, it's 30% plus for attacking and 30% plus for defending. So with this approach, we were trying to simulate that the different kinds of armies were dedicated to fight on certain terrain types, and if they were in such a situation when they had to fight on a terrain which was not, let's say, good for them, there was a huge disadvantage or penalty, which you can, for example, in history, the two legions which were massacred in the forests of the Germany or Holland in that time. Okay, I will show you how such an attack looks like. We might pick, for example, this unit, and we can attack this faction, which is Bospran. I need to declare war to them first. And now I will attack. Before I attack, I will hover over the tile where my enemy is located, and I can see in the tooltip that it says General's advice is absolute supremacy and the prediction accuracy is reliable assessment. Basically what it does, or what it says, is what our generals or their spies say about the army, what are our chances. This doesn't mean, even it's absolute supremacy, doesn't mean that we will basically destroy them, but what it says is that our advantage is huge. And the second part of this is the prediction accuracy. The prediction accuracy says how reliable this advice is. So the more accurate that prediction is, the better, and we know more about the enemy, and we can be sure that this general's advice is probably true or almost true, and the other way. So if the prediction accuracy is low, then it means that we are basically not sure, or the generals are not sure. So let's attack now. So you can see that we were really successful during the fight, all the blood around. And this, what is open now, it's called battle result window. You can see our army, it's Pontus, and this is the name. We can see the enemy army, which is the name here, and here are the so-called improvements, which I will come back to it. Then there is number of soldiers, so it both armies were basically brand new. This is our experience, battle experience. I will cover it soon. And this is our initial attack, initial defense, and initial movement points, the same for the enemy. In this panel, we can see all the different bonuses or penalties about this particular battle. So this is different for each battle, and you can see here that we have the experience, which gave us 36% up. We have some kind of training bonuses, which is related to this assault, but I will cover it later. There is army moral, and we were actually really happy that the battle was performed on terrain which is in our favor, and that the same panel is there for the enemy. These are the values, the figures, which were actually applied in that battle after all these bonuses and penalties. So you can see that our attack was 6.4 and their defense was 2.2. So you can see that there was actually 15% up. This line, it's the actual battle, and the result is victory. And this is how our values, the base values, have changed after the battle. So you can see that the attack ability is lowered and the health is lowered as well. We suffered some casualties. We got some experience, and our enemy was destroyed. So that's the battle result window, and once we are here, I can explain the unit experience. The unit experience is something what you cannot somehow buy, or you need to gain it during the lifetime of the unit, and the best way how to get the experience is in battles. Successful battle brings more experience, successful defense also, and even if we lose in the fight, it also brings us a couple of experience points, but the actual amount is lower. And the second way how we can gain the experience is by training the unit, but that's something I will come back to soon. I just look at if the chat, if there is anything what you would like to know already. It seems like it's all covered. Okay. So let's move on. Units can perform certain actions which can increase their ability to defend. What I can show you is, for example, the unit here. We can fortify a unit, which will give it bonus percentage for defending in a battle, which is this action. We already there were some questions on the Steam forum. What is better? Because there are two ways how you can fortify your unit. The first one is that you fortify the unit itself, or the second way is that you fortify the unit inside another, let's say, facility or city. What we can do here, we can enter the city, and if we do that, the unit will not fortify. We will fortify in the city itself and get ready for defense. If you will fortify the unit outside the city, it basically means that it will build fortification in front of the city. There is no right answer here, because it depends on what are your priorities. If you expect that the situation is really bad, it's the city is in danger and there are more enemies coming, then it's definitely better to fortify inside the city. And on the other hand, if you know that there is just one enemy and when he attack, you want to attack back, it's better to fortify outside the city, so the unit is let's say faster, ready to counterattack. The percentage of or bonus percentage for fortifying in the city is 50%, and outside the city it's 40%. It's very different when you have some kind of let's say it's facilities like this. It's a can click here. It's stockade, and this basically multiplies the defense bonus for the units which are inside. So if you are in a situation where you need to decide if you fortify in the city or outside the city, this is something that should give you a definite answer. You should fortify inside the city. I will actually talk about these facilities a bit later. So another question. Model? No, it doesn't seem so. Okay. Next part I would like to talk about is the defense bonus or defense readiness. We call it internally. What it means. We were trying to simulate some kind of time flow in each turn. I know that this is a turn-based strategy, but we still wanted to have some kind of simulation of the time in the for every turn, and that's why we came up with this defense readiness. What it means is that if you leave unit idle for the whole turn, it will get a certain bonus for not moving or not performing any other moves during that turn. We can have a look at this battle result window, and you can see that it was already there. It's 30% readiness bonus for being being idle. The explanation behind this is simple. If we have unit and we during that turn we move the unit from one place to another, then the unit is basically not really ready for the defense because it was moving during that turn, and that's why the unit lost the readiness bonus. But if you have the unit staying on the tile where it was last turn, then there is a definite the defense readiness bonus once the unit is attacked. Okay, so let's move on. One of the other things I would like to tell you about is the loyalty. Loyalty is something we came up during the development because we realized that it was very usual that the player conquered the city, he repaired the city, and once the city was repaired, he started building or recruiting new units straight away. This was so unhistorical, and it didn't make sense that we wanted to somehow address this problem to not let this happen. That's why we came up with the loyalty, which is basically a will or willingness of people living in that city to fight for you. Every time you attack and conquer a city, then the loyalty of the city will drop to certain value. For example, this Hadrianopolis, I just conquered it. You can see that it's still, it's damaged, so there is smoke. And in the unit menu, you can see that there is this current loyalty is 40%. What it means is that if we now recruit a unit here, we actually have a settler here, a specialization. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with that concept, but basically every city has to be specialized to be able to recruit new units. So let's have a look. So for example, here is specialized and I can build spearmen. Here I can build nomads and settlers. And if you want to add another specialization, you need to prepare the city for it. In reality, you can imagine that it's, for example, training center or facility where these units are trained. So you cannot simply, I don't know, in civilization, you just say, okay, I want warrior. So here you really need to prepare the facility where you will recruit these units. And once you do that, you can build these units. If you want to add specialization, you need to pay for that, and it also takes some time. So if I want to specialize my capital and build their settlers, it will take 2 turns, and it will cost me gold, iron, and stone. So if I will conquer the city, and I did here, then I am able to build settlers. The problem is that once I build or recruit the unit in such a city with lower loyalty, then the loyalty is also taken by the newly recruited unit, and this loyalty has a huge impact on the effectiveness of the unit in a battle. So if I would here recruit, I have settler, but let's say I have another unit, for example, warriors. If I would do that, then I would have 60% penalty fighting with that particular unit out of this city. The loyalty slowly goes up, but it takes some time, and also it's very important. The increase of this loyalty depends on how the people or the culture of this city is close to your own culture. So, for example, if I will conquer another city, for like Byzantium, then the culture of Macedonia and Pontus is not that far from each other, and it will increase in a certain speed and eventually get back to 100%. If I will conquer a city of the Dacian tribes, which are totally, that's a very different way of life, then the initial loyalty will be much lower, and also the increase will be much lower. So you cannot really conquer a city and then start recruiting new units, because the units will be basically useless. So this loyalty is very important aspect of the game, and what you usually do is that you need to bring reinforcement from your own cities rather than rely on the captured cities or conquered cities. Close or partially related to the loyalty is also so-called general moral. Okay, I can actually go back to here. The general moral is the second progress bar here. You can see current general moral is 80%, and loyalty is related to the willingness of the people to fight for you. The general moral is something like an attitude of people. So if they are angry, or if they are not happy with how you actually take care of them, etc., then this indicator might pop up. It has the same impact on the battle like the loyalty, but this is far more important, because loyalty itself is not really dangerous. You just need to wait till it goes up again. Okay, we have a unit here, so you can see that it has a loyalty 90%, which is already pretty good. But general moral is 50%. General moral is something what it changes per time according to specific circumstances. For example, if you don't supply your units and they are starving, this very quickly goes up, and the higher this or lower the attitude is, so the lower the general moral is, the higher the chances that the unit will get damaged, or will might desert, or they will not obey your orders, etc., etc. So this is very important feature. Of course, the same applies to the AIs. We can, just to give you a bit of action, to show you a bit of action, we can attack. Okay, you can see that none of these are actually good for us, but let's attack these warriors, and let's see how it looks like. You can see we got beaten a lot. So that was a defeat. This is our initial attack and defense, and this is what we actually get into the battle with. So you can see that the general moral is minus 50%. There was also the loyalty penalty, etc. And there is our enemy. There was a readiness bonus. He is fighting well in forests, and also his army moral is better. So we actually end up with 1.5 against 5.2, and that's how it actually also ended up. So we were totally beaten, and the unit withdraw to the rear. Fortify. Okay, is fortify a unit counting as an action and dissolves being idle? Yes, basically once you once you fortify a unit, it all depends on the movement points. So if you have a unit, let's use the settler because I want to show many other actions. So you can see the movement points, and once I fortify the unit, the movement points are get to 0, which means that the unit was not idle that turn and perform an action. Okay. The next feature I would like to talk about is the number of attacks and number of defenses. So in general, every unit. Let's go to the once again for those who already have the game. Right click is brings you to the unit type window, which tells you all the details about the unit type, and left click brings you to the unit details window, so you will have information about that particular unit. So you can see that that's the name, this is the type, it's clickable of course. These are improvements, our current values like attack, defense, movement points, and here are the current number of attacks and current number of defenses. That's very important. And there are a couple of other things like experience, general moral, loyalty. Here are some information about the current state of the unit. Here is the history of the unit, so you can see that we won this year. It's the same year. We won close to Cherson city. And what this is, every unit has a certain number of attacks. It's usually 1, and it means that the unit can really attack just once per turn. You can train the unit to be able to attack twice. It's called Blitz. It's one of the improvements. I'm almost there to explain you what the improvements are for. By the way, welcome everyone. I see that the number of viewers is rising, which is great. So I hope you will enjoy the stream as much as I do. If there are no questions so far, okay. So that's the Blitz. That's one of the improvements, and it doubles the number of attacks. So this unit can attack, for example, this enemy twice or another enemy. I think that is pretty clear. Why is that so important? It's related to the number of defenses. Again, similarly to what I was trying to explain about the defense readiness or defense bonus, we were trying to simulate here. I know that some of the players were already asking for group attack. They were saying, okay, there is no group attack, etc. There actually is group attack, but it's much more simpler to set it up, and it's also easier to use. Instead of complicating group attack, you basically attack with single unit. But once you attack any unit, second, third, or fourth time, there is penalty that the unit was already attacked. So you can in the real life, you can imagine that the unit was already extremely busy with one attack, and it really tries to defend well, but it was attacked by another unit as well. So we can give it a try. And give it a try. Let's use this unit. So we attack it first time. Okay, it wasn't bad. We have army moral better, pretty good, and yeah, it was. We were better, but we still suffered some casualties. They had the readiness bonus and also pretty good army moral. But what we will do, we will attack again. So you can see that the number of casualties is very different, and one of the reasons why it's like that is that that they had this more battles penalty. I can show it on another attack, which we will actually perform even more times. So let's declare war to Seleucid Empire. This doesn't look good. I mean, the general's advice is dangerous position, but let's give it a try. I wouldn't do it. I mean, if I would play the game for real. You see that we draw because we didn't really perform well, but let's attack them again. So it was again draw, but you can see that there was already more battles penalty. And let's attack them the last time. We have one more unit here. This is very good unit, by the way. This is Hoplite. So you can see that that was even better. They withdraw. We suffered. The number of casualties is much lower, and the reason is that there is minus 60% more battles penalty. And if you would attack it again, it would be minus 90%. That's the highest penalty the unit can suffer. But once it's 90%, it's almost for sure that you will really destroy that unit. Okay. So that's the more battles penalty. So you can see that this is really acting as a group attack. It's just easier to set up, and you have better control over it. Next part or next feature of the game is so-called city size bonus. What it does is that the city itself can just defend. It's not like there are just people who are sitting at their homes once you try to conquer or capture the city. It's like a militia when the citizens decide to defend their homes, and the bigger the city is, the higher the city defense bonuses. So let's try it on this Bosporan city. Okay, that was not sure why. So you can see that there is this city size bonus once we attack the I don't know why. Okay, there is we achieved threshold of the winning victory condition. So let's get back to this. So you can see that that our attack was better. Their defense was also better because of the size bonus, but we were still able to conquer the city. With every city you conquer, you partially get like loot, because every city has some kind of stockpile in it, and once you conquer it, you will get that to your own reserve. So you can see that this is so-called a report panel, and you can see that we captured by conquering this city, we captured food, stone, some knowledge, etc., etc. Which is definitely good, and the enemy lost all this. So what we have here, he had also the same, but he got less food, less stones, etc. Okay, so finally we can get to the improvements. So yeah, we can get to that. What the improvements are about? It's we were trying the improvements. We can divide that into improvements of military units and improvements of building and cities. It's kind of a special behavior or special special facility maybe for cities which you build. It's for example like this stockade. That's improvement, or city walls, and all these things are very useful when you want to defend your cities. So like I said, if you want to defend your city, it's usually better to enter the city and defend it there rather than outside. And once you have these improvements, you can see it here. This is the improvement panel. You can see here stockade, and here you can see the city walls, which is basically the best fortification of city you can have. This is the basic one. There should be, yeah. This is the advanced one, which is palisade, and then there is the city walls. These improvements not only increase the defenseness of the city itself, but once you enter the unit, enter the city with unit, it multiplies its defense bonus. We can try it from the other side. So you can see that Bosporan has this city well fortified. So we get closer. We also, this is Hoplite, by the way. Hoplite. This is a pretty good unit, especially on the flat terrains. And this is a flat terrain everywhere. So we are in a good situation. And we can attack. The problem is that we are right now. We know that there is a unit. Our spies told us that there is a unit, but we have no idea how strong it is. So we will take a risk and attack it. So we are basically attacking unit behind these walls, and you can see that we didn't perform that well. And the reason is that the defense was multiplied by 120% by this defense bonus, which was there because of this stockade. So this is the best way how you can defend your cities. And for example, if you know that there is going to be a huge fight, or maybe you see many units approaching your cities, then you should fortify in your cities and ideally be prepared and have already these facilities built. But that's can you buy all improvements, or are some only available by winning objectives? For cities, all of the improvements are available for you to build. Once you get to that point in the invention tree, which gives you the ability to. So our basic one is stockade, and you can see it's here, and we don't see the rest of the invention tree, but we can get to the rest and build the others. It's a bit different for units themselves, because they can be also improved. I can show you. I already showed you before that this unit had the blitz improvement, and because we attack another enemy unit. Let me see where it is. No. Okay, where it is. Okay, here it is. So this is the battle we fought in this area, and you can see that we already got the blitz, or two attacks. But during the fight, we also got this assault, because our battle, or the battle itself, was really well fought, and that's the reason we learned how this assault improvement. There are some improvements which you cannot train. Some of them you can train. For example, in city, I can train this unit in the city, and you can see that I can train assault and defense. Some of the extensions or improvements cannot be trained and can be gained only in battles. I think that there are like so these are all the improvements you can have. Some of them are really I'm pretty sure that some of them you will really like the where is it? City Raider, for example. That's you get a special bonus when you attack city itself. or ambush, which attacks 2 units at the same time once you attack one of them, etc. And many others. It's too, the list is too long. Yes, Matron 678 asks if a unit if fortifies on the tile very city, then it's basically outside. Yes, so there's no bonus for the stockade or palisade or city walls because you decided to fortify them in front of the city walls. But like I said, it's much better to fortify them in the city. Okay, so let's get to more advanced features. One of them is army morale. What we were trying to achieve with army morale is that you can imagine that you have an army, and the army is fighting on two different fronts, two different front lines. On one front line there is a really strong enemy with a reputation which which causes that your soldiers don't really want to fight against this enemy. But on the other front, there is an enemy which is usually really weak and doesn't fight well, and that's what we that's how we based this feature on. Basically, every enemy has a different, or your every enemy has a different army morale. Your army has fear or is feeling superior to that particular enemy. So if I will show you how it looks like, you can see here in the tooltip that there are many informations, but one of them is attacker army morale is decent. Decent is good. Decent is better than average. We can also see the same information in the diplomacy window. There is the army morale window, so we can see that it's better than average. But if we will look at the different enemy, for example here, you can see that the attacker army morale is poor. Again, I can go to the army morale window, and you can see that it's way below average. So let's give it a try and attack this this enemy. So you can see we got beaten a lot, and the main reason for that is that we got minus 40% penalty for low army morale, and it didn't go really well. Once you get into such a position when the army morale is low, there are 3 different ways how to get out of it. The first one is that everything matters when it comes to the army morale. So every tile you conquer, every mine, every building, it counts and it increases the army morale. Every battle you win against enemy, it also increases the army morale. Every city you conquer, it's a huge achievement once you conquer a city. Let's give it a try. We have more units here, so let's try to conquer Thessalonica. Not sure if we will be able to. No, but let's try it one more time. We have one more. No, it didn't work out. So you can see that there is a size bonus, there is more battles penalty, but it simply didn't work out. With the minus percentage is too high. But if we would conquer the city, the army morale would go up. The second way how to increase the army morale is to sign a peace. Once you sign a peace, the army morale will slowly get back to the average value, and Once it gets back to the average value, you might start the war again, but you really should take care of your army moral, and the best way is to sign a peace. If you can't sign a peace, there are tools. That's the last option you have. How to increase the army moral. Let's go to the diplomacy window with Antigonid, and you can see the army moral button here. And there are 4 different ways how you can boost the army moral. Let's go through them. It's not that long. So the first one is prophecy. What it in reality means that we go to the prophet and ask what is the prophecy, how this war will how it will develop, and what is the future basically. It is kind of a gamble in a way, because it's not certain. You can see that in tooltip its probability of success is 65%. And the more increase if you are successful is 30%. But what it says, in case of failure, you risk army desertion. So in reality, you can imagine, okay, we asked prophet, there was a prophecy, but it didn't work out. And once the soldiers found out, they knew that they know that the war is lost. So they might eventually desert. It depends on the position where they are, how far it is to the enemy cities, etc. The second way how to boost it is the propaganda. This is very secure way or safe way, because there is no chance. It's 100%. You will increase the moral by 10%, but it will cost you something, because you will spend resources for the propaganda itself. So you you give away these resources just to create some kind of illusion that everything's going well. The third one is strategy review, and it's a kind of a gamble. It's 70% chance, and the moral increase is 15%. But you need to pay for this strategy review certain amount of resources and knowledge. I think that this is pretty self-explanatory. And the last one is speech. The probability of success is 75%, and the moral increase, that's really high. It's 35. It's the biggest boost you can get, but it's also a gamble, because again, you try to encourage your nation, the whole nation, and your soldiers to you motivate them. Okay, this war is not over. We can win it. But in case that they will simply not believe you anymore, or they see that how desperate you are, then you risk revolts and emigration from the country. So the people, once they see how desperate you are, then they might start revolting against your government or against you, or when they are close to the borders, they might immigrate. So that's the army moral. Someone asked a question or a suggestion. Okay, I have a suggestion. To make the combat more intuitive and interesting, can you have a war score bar that updates in real time while battle is going on? If you think you are gonna lose, then there will be a button to retreat. Then a dice can be rolled to check whether you can retreat or not. So it's not guaranteed that you will be able to retreat. Not sure if that would be possible, because all the aspects of the battle depend on each tile where the unit is, how many friendly units are around, what is the enemy you are fighting against, etc. So not really sure if it can be simplified in to such an extent. Okay, so let's move on. So the next part is, if you know that you need to create a defense against a stronger enemy, there are some buildings which will help you with that. There are 3 military facilities. We can see here just one. I built here the fort, and what it does, it's similar to city. So once you enter and enter the fort, then it multiplies the defense. So we can basically load the hoplites to the forts, and it multiplies its defense when it's attacked. It's a bit different to city, because city itself is on one tile, and the defense is valid only for that tile. The forts and defense walls. Defense wall is let's say upgraded version of fort with higher bonus. So once you enter this fort or defense wall, and the defense wall is attacked, the unit doesn't defend only that particular tile, but it moves inside inside these forts, and also defend against two tiles. So if we will enter here with another hoplite, then we will have all these five tiles covered wherever the enemy attacks. What the units do, they basically move inside these forts wherever it's attacked and defend. And the last facility for attacking or defending is the patrol tower, but we don't have a right now we don't have the technology for that. Okay. The next part is the supply management, and that's I have to say it's my favorite part, because I really like the supply management, how we created that. So every unit or units can be split into two different groups. The first one is called suppliers, and the second one is called supply consumers. Suppliers are all the naval units, like galley, boat. Here's boat, trireme, but there is right now we don't have the technology. Just Carthage has. So these are the suppliers. All the cities are suppliers, and also the unit wagon. Let me just open it. Where is that? Yeah. Which is used for supplies, and also it transports the infantry units on longer distances. So these are the suppliers, and they provide the supplies to the supply consumers. Supply consumers are pretty much all the units, all the units which can move. The only ones which don't need supplies are the settlers, and if you have a certain improvement, then also it's called self-supplier, or it's called forager. No, sorry. Self-sufficient. So if you have such an improvement, then you don't need the supply lines. But all the other units need the supply lines, and this is how it works. I will now turn on this supply area overlay or highlight, and you can see that that it highlights the map with different colors and different shapes. Where on those tiles where there is no shape and no highlight, these are fully supplied. If I will, you can see that when I move the cursor over these tiles, you can see that there is tile supplied 100%, tile supplied 100%. If I will hover over the tile which is already highlighted, it says tile supplied only by 80%, and it's in red. So those tiles which don't have this highlight are fully supplied. Those which are in this color range of yellow till brown are partially supplied. So you can see here 80%, 50%, 10%, and those which are in red are not supplied at all. There are two different ways how you can see how you can look at the supply map. The first one is you turn this on, or you can turn it off and you select a unit. In that with this view you can see again the red ones are those ones which are not 100% supplied, and it also shows the supplier. You can see the green cross, which is our supplier, and the tooltip says my supplier 100% of supply. So we entirely rely on supplies from this galley. When we when we select the galley, it will says supply 4 units. So I will show you now what it actually does when we move the galley away from the coast. You can see that straight away the highlight changes. So this is supplied on 30%, 50%, 19%, and this is fully unsupplied or not supplied at all. And all the units which are just partially supplied are highlighted with the red cross, so we have to be very careful about that. If I will move even further, you can see that it's all red. So this is not supplied at all. So I will come back with the supplier, and it's now fully supplied. Once the unit is not supplied, it will decrease the general moral. And once the general moral is lower, like I said, the unit will is prone to desertion, and also when it's not supplied, then it starves, and the attack and defense values are decreased. But this is not just about the suppliers. It also matters how are your supply lines built. I already have here a setup where you can see that we have unit on the border with Seleucid Empire. We just declared war 2, and this tile is fully supplied. You can see in the tooltip, and it's also not highlighted. But this one, in the lower left corner, it's supplied only on 60%. Here 60%. And once we get further, 30%, 10%, and it's getting lower and lower. We have 3 different options what to do. The first one is that we bring a wagon. We don't have a wagon, so we cannot really supply it from wagon. That's the first thing we could do, but we don't have an option to do so. The second one is that we can build a city somewhere closer to the border. And once we do that, then the supply lines will extend, because city is supplier. The third option is to extend or improve the supply lines. It matters through what kind of terrains, and also how accessible these tiles are. So the supply lines through hills are much worse, and they don't really expand to longer distance. And also, if you connect different parts of the map with roads, it will extend the supply lines. So what I will do, I have settlers here and settlers build roads. One of the things they build roads. You can just look at these colors. So this is 60% now, and you can see it straight away recalculated tile supply lines. And if I will build it here, the road, it changed the color, or it basically removed the highlight, because this tile is now supplied on 100%. So we were really trying again here to simulate something, and that's how you need to take care about your supply lines. And with every military campaign, you really need to think about supply lines, and ideally you bring settlers right behind your army who will build the roads, and ideally cities which will be later used for supplies. Okay, we have a question here. Does anyone think that the terrain colors could be made more vibrant? I mean, not like Sif, but at the moment the map color looks very bland. Okay, we have a solution for that. the game is really customizable, so you can do what a lot of things. One of the things, I'm sorry that this is like a, a break from that military stuff. So you can go to game setting and you can change a lot of things. One of the things you can change is called terrain color overlay. If I will set it to higher colors, you can see that the terrain is much more vibrant per the value of the slider. You can have 100%, which is purely just these colors, or you can have blend with the text with the texture of the terrain. And there is other thing what you might like. It's called terrain saturation, which basically makes it more colorful. So if I will change it to 120 something, you can see that now it's much more colorful, much more contrasty, much more saturated. We were really surprised by that some players really prefer to have such a saturation. I think that the highest value is well, it's really crazy if you go for 200. But yeah, that's the answer to conjecture. There are many things you can actually customize. For example, if you think that the fog is too dense, the fog of war, then you can also change the value here, fog density, and make it a bit more transparent. There are you know, there is many things that you can really tweak. You can see that unit sizes you can change if you don't like this unit size, etc. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back to the reason why we are here today, and that's the okay. We are actually getting to the last part, which where I will just explain a couple of specialties, I would say. One of the things which is important in the game is to take care of the actual direction of the attack. The rivers are very important defense lines, maybe, because they are it's difficult to cross over. Some unit types cannot cross the rivers at all. Some of them can, but once they do, it usually consumes all the movement points the unit has. Once it consumes all the movement points, there is no bonus for not consuming all the movement points, and the unit is more vulnerable to attack. So if you know that enemy is getting closer, you just create your defense line behind or along the river, and once he tries to cross, you just attack. You can, if you basically of course you can build bridges. Once you build bridge, then there is no penalty for crossing the river, but enemy can also use these bridges, and that's why you can also destroy the bridge. You can see the action destroy bridge, which will again get back to the actual initial state, and the river has to be crossed with the penalty. The next part I would like to tell you about is the you can attack from the boats as well, or from the naval units. You can see here we already have one army here inside. It has some lower loyalty and lower general moral, but we can attack straight away on the coast. It says that the advice is it's not recommended, but let's attack. I don't expect that we will win. I'm pretty sure that we will lose. Okay, it was even better, worse. So we were massacred because the attack bonus is minus 50% due to the unload attack straight from the coast, which where the unit is very vulnerable to the to get beaten. The the desertions I was talking about is something what was in ancient times, which was extremely important to take care of. The moral was much more important than today, and moral sometimes even won the whole battle. And desertion was something what was happening. We were also trying to cover this, and once the unit gets lower general moral, I'm not sure if I can show you anymore. Once it gets lower general moral, it's prone to. There is a risk that the unit will eventually desert if it's not going well, or it starves, or the units around are very strong, and to mitigate this problem, you should always have your units close to each other, which gives them a bit more courage to stay on this on your side and not desert. Then the other things which count is that the power of the enemy player. So once you are close to the powerful state, then the units might eventually desert if they are not fed well, etc. Because they feel strong that you will not really chase them, because you will not have a power to chase them to the enemy. The last thing I want to cover is the sieges. There are three ways how you can conquer the city. The first one is that you attack the city and you win. The second way is that you besiege the city, and once you besiege the city, it means that you conquer all the tiles around, which I will not be able to. But once I conquer all the tiles around, and I have one unit which holds this blockade, then the city is besieged, and it starts starving. When it starts starving, the general moral goes down, and it eventually will either starve to death, or it will eventually desert, or they will open the gates and you will be let in. This is a way how you can get or conquer the city without any losses. But the problem is, once you do this, sieges are considered dishonorable actions, and once you besiege the city and let the unit starve, it doesn't just worsen the relationship with the owner of the city, which is the enemy, but with all the other players, excluding those ones which are also besieging the same city, or which are your allies. So this is not something you would really want to do all the time, because once you do it, the attitude towards you will get lower and lower once you have no friends around. And also, once you besiege the city and they eventually open the gates to you, then the loyalty and the general moral will be so low that it will really take decades to get to a state when you can recruit a unit or do anything with the city. Okay, I think that my colleague answers all the questions. So the last part I want to talk about is the way how you can heal your unit. In Aggressors, there are four different ways how you can get your unit back to their full strength. The first one is so-called auto heal, which means that you can leave the unit idle, and if you leave it idle, it will very slowly heal itself. It's a percentage of current of current defense and attack points. So we can have a look here. We have 1 out of 3 attack, 1 out of 3 defense. If we will leave the unit here, it will very slowly increase its attack and defense, but its percentage out of the current attack and defense. So it will be really very slow decrease. You can boost this decrease to more, let's say 2 times higher rate once you enter the facility where you can build this. So for example, once I enter the city with this unit, it will auto heal itself 2 times faster, but it will still be very slow. The second way how you can heal your unit is called self-healing, but it's already an action. Auto heal, there's no it works on its own. You don't have to do anything. The self-healing is an action, so it means that you need to approve it, you need to execute that, and it increases the health by 10%, again out of the current attack and defense. So it means we have 1 attack, 1 defense, and the auto heal, it says attack power increase to 1.1, defense power increase to 1.1. So it's 10% out of current state. Once you execute that, it will take 1 turn to you can to actually have the unit available again, because this unit doesn't obey any or more orders. You can see that there is a special icon which says that the unit is extremely vulnerable to enemy attacks. If you imagine what it means in reality, it means that they set up the camp and they are trying to focus on healing, and so they are trying to cure the flesh wounds, etc., etc. And once they do that, they are not really ready for any attacks. So you should perform this action only when you are not close to the enemy, which might eventually attack you, and this might even destroy your unit. The second way how you can heal your unit is called recover. This was, by the way, if there are already some players, this has been changed according to the suggestion of one of the players, and thank you for that. This was initially also based on a percentage of the current attack and defense, but it was changed. So right now it's the percentage of the type values. So for this particular unit, it's 3 and 3, and it's 20% increase, which means 0.6 every turn. You can see it here, that attack power will increase to 1.6, and defense power will also increase to 1.6 in 1 turn. For this action, it's a bit different to the healing self, because what it does in reality, it withdraw the people or recruit the men from close cities, and it recruits them as soldiers. So so that's why you need some resources for that. You withdraw some people. You can see that it costs you 2.8 citizens, which is a resource. The citizens, by the way, in the panel here are the citizens in the economy, working in the economy. It's not there are also citizens which are in the army, but they are not in this because they cannot really contribute to the economy itself. So once I click on this action, it will withdraw some people from the nearby cities. We also need to create the gear for them. So there is an iron and there is gold, and also there will be a huge penalty if this unit gets attacked. So I will perform this action. I'm not sure if you noticed, but this particular city changed its size from 5 to 4, and that's because of some of the people or some of the men were recruited in our army. Again, you can see that it's extremely vulnerable to enemy attacks. One point which is important when you want to recover your unit is that like I said, it recruits you men from the nearby cities. We just conquered this city, and you can see that the loyalty and the general moral is low, or not 100%. If I will now do the same, I will recruit recover this unit. It will, the only way how to get the man will be from out of this city. But once I do that, it will proportionally decrease the general moral and also the loyalty per the loyalty of the men who were brought to the army. So this basically plant a seed of rebellion and on the low loyalty to the army. So once I do that, you can see in the panel there here that the loyalty has already decreased to 89%, so 11% less, and general moral is 97%. So once we attack with this unit, it will get the penalty for having these untrustworthy men in the army. Once the unit is already has an experience, then the experience also decreases because you recruit rookies into your army, and it decreases the experience. Okay, no questions. I think that we are covered by my colleague. So the last way how you can heal your unit is to bring your unit back to the rear city and heal it in those cities which are specialized for that unit type. So you can see that this Synopi, they are specialized in training spearmen, and this is spearman, so I can heal him inside. It will cost or take 2 turns, but he will be fully recovered to 100% of its strength. Important thing is that it also costs resources. But if anyone wonders what is cheaper, if it's better to wait longer and recover units somewhere, or go to the city which is specialized for it and heal inside, then I can assure you that the resources you spend for recover are almost double to the actual healing inside, and healing inside is usually also faster. Healing inside, you can imagine that not only it will heal the soldiers, but it will also recruit and train in that training facility the new man, which will be in that experience which the unit already has. Okay, I think that we covered all the things I wanted to say. I just look if there are any questions. Doesn't seem so. I'm waiting for my colleague to tell me if there were any. So guys, if anyone has a question, then please ask now. I really tried to cover it as much as I could in detail. Do factions have different tech trees? No, the tech tree is the same for the specific game for all the factions, and the reason for that, there are 2 reasons for that. The first one is that we wanted to have a balanced world where there would be no disadvantage or advantage in the particular tech tree. That's the first thing. The second reason is that we have this feature called mixed invention tree, and this mixed invention tree mixes the invention tree to a certain extent. So there are some rules which must be always met, but we want this mixing to be fair, so it means that all the factions have the same mixed invention tree. Uh, so by the way, I will wait a couple of minutes if anyone has a question, and we will have a couple of more of these streams. I really tried to explain the same things I did explain in the Dev Diaries, and if you want to know more, or maybe a different explanation, probably better explanation, then there are Dev Diaries which try to cover similar aspects of the game. And we will, for the next dev streams, we will try to cover another features of the game which were also covered in the dev streams. Okay, so it seems like everyone understood all the features, which is great. It means that I was probably more clear than I thought that I am. All right, so thank you very much for joining me and watching the stream. By the way, this game was released just 1 week ago. It's brand new, and it is around $25 if you are interested, and we would be happy to hear your feedback, not only when you buy the game, but also when you just watch the stream and you have some questions or maybe even suggestions. We are happy to talk about it and even improve it if we find it like a good suggestion. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a nice evening.